Hey everybody, this is Tara Woodruff at Holiday, Florida, and I just saw something that was posted on Facebook by one of my news fan pages that I go to and read news from. And it really disturbed me. I'm going to read you a couple of things that I saw in there, and the purpose of this video is to encourage you to really look hard into homeschooling your children or Montessori schooling your children. It's really important, guys, because things have gotten out of hand with the school system. If you remember recently, a young girl, she mixed some baking soda and hydrogen peroxide together at her high school. She was a B+ student, never been late, never been disciplined, anything like that, on her way to a really wonderful education as a college student. She actually, the school hall monitor, which is funded by the state, actually called the police on her for setting off a bomb, and she was placed under arrest for detonating a deadly weapon on school property, and that will be on her track record forever. Luckily, a wonderful college, I can't remember who it was, you have to go do the research, it was in Florida though, saw that and gave her a full scholarship to go to school with them. Shit's crazy, guys. I'm going to read you a couple of the headlines on this, because I really want you to understand why it's important. A 12-year-old girl in Texas was arrested for spraying perfume on herself. A 13-year-old student in Albuquerque, New Mexico, was arrested for burping in class. This is by police department. This is not, going to the principal's office. Number 3, another student in Albuquerque was forced to strip down to his underwear while 5 adults watched because he had $200 in his pocket. Number 4, a security guard at one school in California broke the arm of a 16-year-old girl because she left some crumbs on the floor after cleaning up some cake that she had spilled. Number 5, one teenage couple down in Houston poured milk on each other during a squabble while they were breaking up. Instead of being sent to the principal, they were arrested and sent to court. Number 6, in early 2010, a 12-year-old girl at the school in Forest Hills, New York, was arrested by police and marched out of her school in handcuffs just because she doodled on her desk. And what she doodled was, "I love my friends Abby and Faith." Number 7, a 6-year-old girl in Florida was handcuffed and sent to a mental facility. In other words, she was Baker acted after throwing a temper tantrum for her elementary school. Do you understand what Baker acted means? This 6-year-old girl was Baker acted by her school, and they brought the police department and the mental health of Florida involved. When she grows up and she wants to defend herself and she wants to buy a shotgun for her house, she will not be able to, because some people think that that's cool. Number 8, one student in downtown Texas was reportedly arrested by police for throwing paper airplanes in class. 17-year-old honor student in North Carolina accidentally took her father's lunch with her to school. It contained a small paring knife, which he used to slice up apples. So what happened to this student? When another student discovered this, the school suspended her for the rest of the year, and the police charged her with a misdemeanor. In Allentown, Pennsylvania, a 14-year-old girl was tasered in the groin area by a school security officer, even though she had put up her hands in the air to surrender. Down in Florida, 11-year-old student was arrested and thrown in jail and charged with third-degree felony for bringing plastic butter knife to school. 2009, 8-year-old boy in Massachusetts was sent home from school when forced to undergo a psychological evaluation because he drew a picture of Jesus on a cross. 13. San Mateo, California blasted a 7-year-old special education student in the face with pepper spray because he would not quit climbing on the furniture. 14. 5-year-old children are treated brutally by police. The following is from a recent article. Earlier this year, a Stockton student was handcuffed with zip ties on his hands and feet. That's hog-tied. Forced to go to the hospital for psychiatric evaluation, Baker acted, and then was charged with battery on a police officer. That child was 5 years old. Connecticut, 17-year-old boy was thrown on the floor and tasered 5 times because he was yelling at the cafeteria worker. Okay, I remember very well being in school, and I gotta tell you what, I gotta give props to the people that work in public school systems. Cafeteria workers, teachers, principals, gym, hall monitors, they all get treated like shit by the kids. I'm telling you, I know this is a fact. But that does not give any of them the right to order up a police officer or their hall monitor with a taser and assault my children and then arrest them. Okay? That's a bunch of bullshit, guys. If you don't like your job, quit. If it's too dangerous for you to be in school and deal with children, then go find another career. I have no sympathy for that shit. I swear to God, I'm done with it. I went to college for my education degree, so I could become a teacher. I turned that around my last semester because, for numerous reasons. Number one was because you can't get tenured as a teacher anymore. And why would I spend all that money on an education that I can't? Part of the reason why you want to be in that education is because you have tenure, because there are no jobs that are secure in this country. So that, and then plus shit like this going on, I could not be a teacher in these schools and allow this kind of thing to happen. I don't care how bad the person is. I don't care if they're out of control, 7-year-old, 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 15, 16, 17-year-old. It's not a police issue. A 6-year-old boy was recently charged with sexual battery for some inappropriate touching during a game of tag in a San Francisco area school. Massachusetts police were recently sent out to collect an overdue library book from a 5-year-old. Okay. Homeschooling is absolutely, positively, 100% necessary. For real. If you live in a state that does not allow homeschooling, get them in private school. And make sure you sit back and you talk to their policies, talk to the private school's policies about police interaction with your children. If you are finding yourself at a loss, you don't have the money for private school, or you have to go to work every day, how are you supposed to homeschool? Or how are you supposed to homeschool? I mean, I did it with Sarah when she was in our junior year in high school, after there had been a social studies test, and on the social studies test it had a political opinion question. It had nothing to do with what she was going over, and I flipped out and pulled her out of school because it was none of their business what her political opinions were. It's sneaky shit going on, okay? No Child Left Behind, sneaky shit going on. What that's done is it has removed all responsibility from teachers. It has totally tied their hands like this. Tied their hands from teaching children the things that they need to learn. Okay? So you couple that with the frustration that kids are getting pumped full of medications because they're out of hand. What a bunch of load of shit, guys. So I really, really, really want to convey to you the importance of this. There are resources out there that will help you figure out how you can homeschool. You can do it online. There are a couple of different places that you can do it for free. In Florida, they actually have Florida Virtual School, which it's state run. It's still the state run shit, but you're not in the school where anything could go wrong while you're trying to bust your ass to work, because you're being held down by the bills you got, and you're being held down by your mortgage, and you're being held down. I mean, you've got to opt out of this stuff, guys. It's time to become your own boss, so you can set your own schedule, so you can take care of your children. Because the only thing you've got, the only responsibility you have, if you're a parent, is taking care of those kids the best you can. And the best you can is not busting your ass at a minimum wage job while your kids are in school being exposed to this kind of fucking bullshit. That's not your best job. I'm holding you responsible, people. I'm holding you responsible. Your children are number one. If it means you got to move into a smaller place, if it means you got to get into a multi-network marketing business so that you can earn some extra income to help you cover the expenses of homeschooling or sending them to a private school in which you agree with the policies that that school holds. If it means that, that's what you got to do. If it means you pull them out of school and you quit your job and you sit down and you learn it with them, then that's what you got to do. Because the number one thing that you've got to worry about as a parent is your children. And if you allow them to be exposed to shit like this, these are just a couple of things. That's only 19 things. That's just a couple of things. When I was a kid, we had kids that were out of hand. We had kids that were assholes. We had kids that had to be disciplined. I never saw anybody get arrested out of my school. Ever. It really gets me excited. It really does, because it's such a shame that these people that have dedicated their lives to teaching our students have been swindled by federal grants. Take a look at what the federal government pumps into the public education system. It's fucking pennies. It's not worth it. It's not worth the trade-off to have a police officer in your school that who knows what they're going to do. Because if you take a look at any of that, you can figure that out. You know what's a shame? You know what's a shame? Kids actually grew up and wanted to be police officers. And then they went out there and became police officers. And then they found a bunch of other police officers that were scumbags. And look! Why can't we just be people again? Why can't we just have teachers that want to teach and police officers that want to police? It's got to be all this crazy federally funded, mandated shit that makes things really ugly, guys. So, you have no choice anymore. Opt out of the systems they're forcing you to be enslaved to, and do whatever it takes to take care of your kids first. I don't want to hear about, oh, but they won't be socialized. That's a bunch of bullshit. Call your friends up and go to the park. That's a bunch of bullshit. I would much rather have a kid that has to kind of figure out how to socialize with people a little bit later on, all day long, than have somebody physically assaulted by anybody in school. So, that's the end of my rant. Excuse my cursing? No. Just I want to shout out to the teachers out there that are doing a beautiful job, that really are dedicated. There's millions of them, and I wish that they could be recognized even more. But maybe if for them to get their voice heard, maybe they need to opt out too. Maybe they need to develop some sort of homeschool program, market it on the internet or in their town, have homeschool meetings where they meet once a week and they go over curriculum. Maybe that's what they should be doing, because the public school system isn't working anymore, guys. It's not safe for anybody anymore. I love you. Have a wonderful day. I'm going to do some research and add to the information here some homeschooling sites. And I pray for y'all. I pray for everybody. We need to take care of ourselves. And we can't let things like this go on anymore. It's not allowed. It's not working. If we opt out of that, they can't fund it like that no more. If they can't fund it like that no more, your kids will be safe in school again, and you'll be able to put them back. Okay? Peace, love, happiness. Stay aware, have no fear, and be free, guys. Bye.